Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Cheatologist Show. Always remember you can go to YouTube or Facebook, type in the Cheatologist or KaramelEntertainment for shows that you have missed prior to today. I want to thank you first for tuning in on your first Friday, because I know this is a night that people normally go out, party, or entertain themselves with family and friends. And I want to thank you for taking the time out to tune in, because there would be no us if there was no you. So thank you for tuning in. I want you to sit back, relax, get your drinks, get your chips and your dips, and get ready for an entertaining show, because it is our intentions to entertain you and also educate you on this element that is destroying and contaminating the body of our relationships. I am the Cheatologist. I'm in the seat, ready to take the heat. I'm going to define it and stand behind it. The number to call in is on the screen if you have any questions about the topic that we're going to discuss this evening. Before we start, I would like to quote a proverb. This came across just before I came into the studio. So I injected this into the conversation tonight because it's going to be very important as we go on with our discussion this evening. What makes relationships difficult and destructive? That's what I was pondering in my head as I was coming into the studio. And the proverb reads, it's Proverbs 29:1. And it says, whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be broken beyond repair. Let me repeat that. Whoever stubbornly refuses to accept criticism will suddenly be broken beyond repair. Now, you know, when we speak, it may seem like I'm being judgmental, but I am criticizing a situation that constantly finds us in unnecessary drama in our relationships. I criticize that, I address that, and I seek to dissect the problems surrounding that so that we may have a better understanding of what's going on in our relationship. So that is, I wrote this just before I came into the studio. And because I was pondering the issue again, the destructive trait and what makes relationships difficult and destructive. And of course, that trait that we talk about every week is that cheating element, that lying, that abuse, that disrespect. I quoted this because we all, men and women, have within us the capacity to have beautiful, honest, and loving and loyal relationships. Only if we are willing to admit that we are not perfect, that we have problems. It may be problems in communicating. It may be problems in the compatibility among us. It may be some issues that I'm dealing with or we're dealing with that we haven't found a cure or answer to, or a problem we haven't addressed properly in our lives. So we bring that into relationships. You, me, any of us. We are not perfect. So we have vices and we have faults and we have shortcomings that we unfortunately take into the relationship. That's normal. But if we're not willing to admit that we have a problem, we're not willing to admit that we have vices, well, no one is going to admit that, I don't think. That's just a vice is something that we got to deal with because people judge us based on vices that we do have. So Nobody's going to meet a person in a relationship and say, look, I like to cheat. The last 3, 4 girlfriends I had, I cheated on, but I think in this relationship right here, I'm not going to cheat on you. So I just wanted you to know this up front. I don't think any of us is going to step into a relationship like that, because then we definitely will be judged according to what we just said. So we are not perfect, but at least we have to be willing to love, respect, and honor one another in our relationships. Okay, so thank you for tuning into the Cheatologist. And we want to get right smack into the topic. The topic is the destructive element of cheating and the effects. Before I go into that, I want to mention the cheating epidemic floods every human life, from a person on the street who have several relationships, all the way to a presidential nominee. That's how serious it is. This is not something that we just dealing with on a lower level. I don't have any money, I'm broke. My girlfriend mad at me, so I'm gonna go sleep with some. No, it's bigger than that. The cheating element is bigger than that. It's so big that it affects a person who could possibly be put in a position of leading a nation. So now he is dealing with issues from his past that he haven't dealt with. You can't pay a person to shut up about cheating, because it's immoral effects of that cheating that makes a person constantly in their lives affected by it. I don't care if you say, okay, I got a wife, but be quiet. I'm upset also at the women who know men are married, yet they still pursue them. And then as soon as something go wrong, he married, he slept with me, and he sexual harassment. But money, long as he got that money and he's able to give them a little bit of something that can help them with maybe their future goals or their financial goals, they quiet. They hush. But soon as another opportunity come where, look, if you know something about that person, we can give you this, and we can give you TV, and you might even get your own show. Tell us about this president. Tell us what you know. That woman can be lying. That I don't doubt. And again, I don't like to make opinions, so what I'm going to do is speak about the human being. There's no doubt that we sometimes be in situations that we may say something out of the way to a woman like, man, you looking good today, or man. We have a tendency of doing that. Women sometimes smile, knock it off, okay, thank you, or whatever. But when it affects, it possibly can affect that person's life negatively. They have to back up, withdraw, be quiet, and don't say nothing. Have control, because there's beautiful women walking among us every day. So what I'm saying is, if you put in a position of power, those are things that you need to have under control. There's no way that you can lead the United States of America if you have moral issues. There's no way. And I'm not saying that this man is guilty of what he's doing, but if you can't commit yourself to your family, how can you commit yourself to a nation? This is what I'm saying. Again, I'm not saying that he's guilty of what he's done, but we as human beings in our weak, frail minds have a tendency of going beyond our duty when we're in power, and sometimes we harass people sexually. That's what we do. Girl, you got a big boom boom. That's harassment. Boy, if you was my woman, boy, man, that's harassment. But we laugh and joke about this every day, but we do this every day. And this is sad, but this is why it has become accepted in our daily lives. But as you can see in the political arena, you better shut that up. You cannot talk about how big it is and how you want to sleep with her or what you can do to her or I got the money to do this for you. Now, you can't do that in that arena. And we shouldn't be allowed to do it in our arena, but we accept it. Why? Because when we accept this, it only pushes us back as a people in a relationship. And I'm not just speaking from the black people. It affects us humanly. It affects our condition. It changes our situations and circumstances when we make these immoral suggestions. Okay, so now we have a woman who accuses several women who step up and accuse them of sexual harassment or having relationships for, well, I think one was like 13 years, 14 years. We have them issues. But these women know that this man is married, yet they benefited off of what they could benefit at that time. Now they're trying to benefit again. That's what I believe. Again, let me keep my opinions out of it, so I want to leave that alone. But what I want you to keep in mind is the serious implications of cheating, the serious effects of cheating, and how high, nobody is safe. Nobody is safe from this element if you don't guard your heart, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. None of us are safe. Every day we got to work on protecting ourselves from that trait and that element that tends to seep in our heart, and we say, well, everybody else is doing it, so then we condone it with our hearts, and next thing you know, we condone it with our actions. So I briefly spoke on that. Now I want to get into the fact that you allow me to come into your home every week to address the problems that are upsetting the dynamics of our relationship, that is causing us to be dishonest, disrespectful, loud, and abusive, angry and distraught in our dealings with one another, which ultimately causes one to withdraw and no longer trust and no longer want to love and respect that person. And as long as we bicker among one another, as long as we blame one another and don't take responsibility for our own actions, as long as we run out to clubs with our homeboys and girls, as long as we ignore the signs of a dying relationship, we will fail to successfully convey our needs to one another, to sustain the mutual love and the respect, to keep the relationship alive. Now, what I mean by that, other things has become more important than sustaining our relationship. And I'm speaking to men and I'm speaking to women. Women, unfortunately, want to say that men are the blame for them choosing to do things outside of their relationship. This may be true to an extent, but you are also responsible for yourself. Not only are you responsible for yourself, You're responsible for the relationship that you are in. You are responsible for the things that you accept in that relationship or reject. You're responsible for showing your man love and respect and honor him. You're responsible for that too. Okay, now what happens? I know you're about to say, well, what happens when I do all that and my man don't honor and respect me? Okay, men, if you want your woman to love, respect, and honor you, you also have to do the same thing. You can't expect your woman to do something that you're not willing to do. So this is important for both of us to understand. Again, I said this in the beginning, none of us is perfect. So therefore, if we are not perfect, it will be difficult or probably impossible for us to have a perfect relationship. There are going to be things that may have you say, you know what, I don't even want to be in this relationship. But then when you compare it to maybe what's out there now, you may be in the best place. You just have to be willing to compromise, sometimes sacrifice things that you like, or compromise things that you're not used or willing to compromise. And that's why maybe relationships don't last that long. Or relationships last long, but you've been in and out of relationships and we're all getting older, we're not getting younger, so we lose out on the possibility of having a soulmate or a mate for life versus going in and out of relationships, taking baggage. And this is for men and women. We both do the same thing. So nobody is above one another in this situation. I'm addressing this. Just like I'm addressing this to you, I'm addressing this to me. I'm not perfect. But what I have learned to understand was the value of human life and the value of the relationship between man and woman as they unite and come together for a common goal and a common purpose. And at the same time, worshiping that higher power that brought them together, that willed them together. So as long as we continue to argue about, it may not be minor things, but the things that we never try to find solutions to the problems. We just want to point the problems out, and we don't take the time to work on the problems. That's what I'm saying here. We need to take time. I don't care how many years you've been married or how long you've been in that relationship. If that situation is not moving and it's still stagnant and you're not loving him more, but you still, he's okay. You love him, like, for instance, well, let me finish my thought and then I'm gonna jump to something else. If it's not moving, then that relationship is dead. It either have to grow or die. There is no standing still, that's a dead relationship. Okay, so what we have to do is constantly, day in, day out, call your woman sometimes when she at work. Send her some flowers when it's not Valentine's Day. Take off. Don't let her know you took off. Take off. Prepare, clean the house because she already rushing home saying, you know what, I gotta go clean this house. I gotta cook dinner. Take off one day. Take a day off. I know you got some good time. Take a day off. Go home, clean up the whole house, cook dinner, have flowers, petals, going all the way to the kitchen. I'm telling you, it's gonna blow her mind. It's gonna blow her mind because now she's gonna feel appreciated. Okay, women, stop being in the same random situation. You come home, you cook dinner, your dinner's in the microwave, you don't come downstairs to greet them, your dinner in the microwave, you leave a note on the refrigerator, but you upstairs. You leave a note on the refrigerator, your dinner's in the microwave, we ran out of ketchup, I got some ketchup packages in the drawer. You know, this is what we do. And this sabotages our relationships. when we are not happy in our relationships anymore. We're just content. We're just content in relationships. There's no more exuberance in relationships no more. It's like, whatever. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Whatever, Because women know that there are men out there willing to have them. That's easy. It's easy for a woman to step out the door and say, boom, I'm all yours. And men, boom, they run to it. I don't care how she look. I don't want to address that, but you know what I mean. You know how we do, men. If it look good to us, we going at it. Regardless if we're in a relationship or not. If we're not committed. Now, there are committed men out there. Every man is not the same, just like every woman is not the same. Every man don't go into a relationship with the same intentions, just like every woman don't go into the same relationship with the same intentions. Every man don't plan to cheat on his wife when he step out the door, just like every woman don't plan to cheat on her husband when they step out the door. The cheating man is for the cheating woman. The good man is for the good woman. The good woman is for the good man. The cheating woman is for the cheating man. You understand what I mean by that? We attract what we are. We sometimes attract cheating men by what? What we say, what you wear, where you at, what you're doing when you're there, and the first conversation that you entertain with that man in the first 10, 15 minutes, sometime attract what you want. And you might not say, I don't want no cheater, but the first thing you say to him, are you married? You see a ring on his finger. And he say, yeah, I'm married, but I'm separated, or I'm married, yeah, but me and my wife going through problems, or I'm married and, I do me, she do her, and y'all women accept that. And then you blame the man later on down when you fall for him, I'm all in love. You blame him for the situation that you chose and opened up to him. He cheated on you with his wife. He cheated on his wife with you. Now you think that you got that boom that will keep him from cheating on you. But he goes back to his wife. He have holidays that he spent with his family. He comes see you for about 15 minutes or 20. He may even spend a little more time. The wife, unfortunately, calls. He don't answer the phone. She's really upset. It's a holiday. Where can he be? But he said he's going out to visit his family, so on and so forth, so he can pacify the relationships outside of his marriage, which is the wrong thing to do, man. I won't condone it. See, what I was, I am no longer. Regardless if you know me or you don't. If you see me every day, my heart no longer condones the acts and the things that I did to sabotage my marriage. You might not even care what I'm saying today. You might not even respect what I'm saying today because you may think that I'm on TV to blast men. No, there is something that is destroying us as humans. It's ripping our souls apart. And we might think that it's small, but it's big. We got constant reminders of naked women in TV, magazine. Everything caters to sex. So a weak man is going to succumb to that. But if you constantly reminded of the fact that you have a family, a family that is dependent on you. You have a beautiful wife at home, so whatever you're looking for in the street is already at home. So what is your purpose in the street? There's nothing you can tell me to have me to say, to have me to justify what you're doing to your wife and to your family. There's nothing you can tell me. There's nothing you can tell me to justify you leaving your children at home to be with another family. There's nothing you can tell me to justify that. And you should be ashamed of yourself to even try to find reasons to go do that. So I'm here to address that. Every Friday, I thank Leroy Wilkins Jr. for even giving me this opportunity, because this right here is serious. We are losing our minds, and we don't even realize it. And the reason we're losing our minds is because nobody is addressing it. Everybody say it's okay. Everybody's actions is like, it's okay. So therefore, we're losing our minds, we're losing our families, we're losing our children. And what are we responsible for? Just ourselves? There is a purpose that we chose to be married. Was your purpose to abuse your wife? Was your purpose to abuse your children? Because it's abuse when you don't give them guidance. You don't know that though, but that's abuse. Children look to us for guidance. They look at our actions. They look at us cursing their mother out, slapping their mother. They look at us when we pick them up, even if they're not in our homes. We go pick our children up and we bring them around other women. They don't understand that, and we don't take the time to explain it to them, because we say, what? They're only a child. But a child is molded by our actions constantly. Children only mimic what they see. If they see a good husband, if they see a good father, it's a great possibility that they will be that. My father was good, so I'm going to be good. That's not always the case, because there are fathers that were in our lives, and we still chose to go the other route. But we said there was no other option for us, so we did that. So now that the father's there and the mother's there, it kind of like gives balance for us to choose better routes. For us, for our relationships, for our families. Okay, I had written down, well actually, I got some guidelines. For dealing with women, because we need guidance. I need guidance, you need guidance. Nobody is better than nobody. Yes, I am in the seat, but I need to hear this just as much as you need to hear it. I am not better than you. But first, before I get into the guidelines, I want to say something to the ladies. It is your responsibility, the same way you want your man to love and respect you, you do the same to your man. There are far too many women who are rude, disrespectful, loud, and really don't know how to address the needs of their relationship. There are women who walk into relationships every day with the ideology that my man is going to eventually cheat on me. So they hold back some of themselves. They don't trust coming into the relationship. A woman told me, a man got to earn my trust. So that means every day I got to prove to you that I'm worthy of your trust. Yet you still got the keys to that. So you really don't trust me as I'm in a relationship with you. So if I know that you don't trust me, guess what? I'm coming in to get what I can get, then I'm gone. That's why a lot of relationships are quick and fast, because woman or man come in to get what they want and they are gone. Sex, money, whatever it is, a place to stay, a place to lay their head till I get on my feet, any of that. They do it and then they gone. And then you wonder why it didn't work because there's no trust starting out in a relationship. She don't say it right out that she don't trust you, but her actions show that. Her attitudes give the impression, again, I'm stepping into this relationship. If it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. And all these men out here, I'm sure I can find somebody who want me. That's in their mind, and their actions show that. Ladies, that is the wrong attitude to walk into a relationship. And many of you wonder why your relationship fell because you have already planted the seed for your relationship to fail when you step into your relationship with doubt and uncertainty. That's why we need to take time to really get to know each other. I'm serious about this. Communicate. Know my likes and my dislikes. I want to know your likes and okay, you can't do this with everybody you meet. Everybody you meet may not be compatible for a relationship with you. So I do understand that. But if you are deciding, I can see myself with this person, I don't know what may have sparked that interest, but the fact that it's sparked now, you have to take time to know that person. And you cannot know that person just by having a physical situation. You don't know a person like that. You know a person by understanding their beliefs, the foundation of their beliefs, how they respond in certain situations, how they treat their moms, how they treat their pops, how they treat their sister, how they treat their brother. If they have kids, how they treat their kids, how they have the relationship between. All that determines what you're going to get, because all that interaction create attitudes and dispositions. So whatever attitude and disposition that them situations created before you came there, that's the attitude and situation that you're going to get and that you're going to have to deal with. So that's why as men and also as women, this is a vice versa situation. The same thing with the man. If he have children and the relationship that he had with the children's mother and how he treat his mother and how his relationship with his father, or did he ever have a father to give him the guidance that he needed on how to love and respect a man, because how to respect a woman, then you can better determine the distance, or if there's any distance in the relationship. You understand what I mean by that? Okay. Did you know, and this is not to be offensive or judgmental to anyone. I just want women to listen to this and listen to it clearly. Did you know that sometimes the way you dress is a reflection of how you view yourself? Did you understand that? Did you know that when you're out in public and your breast is all over the place, I'm sure you looked in the mirror before you came out the house and seen that your breast was showing. I mean, a lot of it. Again, not to be judgmental, but I want you to take this thought and just play with it in your head for a minute and try to dissect it and use it if it benefits you, and if it don't, just flush it. But I'm going to repeat what I said. Don't you know that sometimes the way you dress reflects how you view yourself? How you dress reflects what you're feeling at that moment. You know, sometimes you want to just throw on jeans and ripped up jeans and a shirt, put a hat over the hair. You don't feel like fixing it today. Boom, whatever. This is who I am. Take me as I am. You know, that type of. It's the same thing in relationships. The attitudes and the disposition that you bring into the relationship is going to reflect what you want in the relationship. If you come into the relationship talking about cheating men, and what men have done to you in the past, 9 times out of 10, well, I'm not going to say 9 times out of 10. I'm just going to say a lot of times that man who's listening to that nonsense is not going to want you for a long-term relationship, because you're going to know that you already got issues that you haven't dealt with. And again, it may be that man who might just come, get what he can get, boom, and he gone. Because that's what you presented. But if you present to your man, to your mate, or vice versa, if you present that you want respect, that you want a loving and enduring relationship, and the qualities that you're looking for in a man, you find in this man, then it's a possibility that y'all can work things out. And if there are other issues that arise, y'all have learned how to communicate early in the relationship to solve them issues before they become problems that damage the relationship in the long run. Don't you know the questions that you ask a man will determine your values? Yeah. The questions that you ask me, I'm going to know what you value. And if I'm serious, if I got good intentions for you, I'm going to address that. But if I don't have good intentions for you, and I'm just there for temporary convenience, then I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. Now, I'm speaking in general. I'm speaking from a man's perspective on this. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear so that I can get in the door. Once I'm in the door, that's another story. But we play these games, and that's called deception. You know what that is. Okay, I want you to understand, again, that I am not better than you, and I'm not here to judge you. I need help just as much as you need help. I need guidance just as well as you need guidance. That's why I do the research. That's why I ask questions. That's why I listen and I dissect the information that I allow myself to process. Because what I am is now what I'm bringing out to you. So it's very important that we take this serious, that we take the information that I'm sharing with you serious, because I'm not in here every week to portray something that I am not. Every day, I'm working on me. I am not perfect, and I am not above you. Nobody is better than nobody. The best of us as humans, the best of us is those who worship God the best. But if we can't find solutions to these minor issues that's causing us to deceive and lie and hurt and abuse one another, then we'll never have a heart that may be willing to even submit and open up to the guidance that God provides. So that's why it's important for us to be in relationships that are harmonious, relationships that are humbling, relationships that are good for our spiritual health, our physical and our mental and emotional health. You gravitate what you want. Just like you send out certain vibes to the people, men and women, when you send out certain vibes to certain people, that's how they respond to you. They respond according to a feeling that they get out of something that you may have said, a way that you have acted, a way that you had your shirt open, a way that you had it closed up and modest. They respond according to that. I just want you to know, that's man and woman. Nothing justifies disrespect. Nothing justifies cheating. Nothing justifies abuse. Nothing justifies a man not wanting to take care of his kids because of something that a woman did. Nothing justifies that. So no man can use what I'm saying tonight as a free ticket to do them things. Because nothing I'm saying is going to perpetuate the ignorance and the nonsense that we constantly find ourselves in because of what? One, lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom, and lack of willingness to change. Every day we have to work on ourselves. Every day I have to work on me. I like to say this, and I like to say it into you till it's drilled in your head. I am not a perfect man. None of us are perfect. We have problems. Each of us have problems in our lives that we sometimes either overlook or we work on it. When we work on the problems, we become better people. We become better husbands. We become better wives. We become better fathers. But if we don't work on these issues, then we become worse. We become the husband that's lie and cheat. We become the husband that come in the house, break things, and throw our and slap our women's around. We become the type of father that say, go to your mother, ask your mother that question, don't ask me nothing. We become the type of men that are a detriment to society, and we don't uplift our society because we don't uplift our families. So that's why this information that I share each week is vital. It's vital for our survival in society and our survival in relationships. Because no man wants to be alone. I don't care what they say. This is a part of the problem that men have. They don't want to tell you the truth about this, but we don't like to be alone. So we sometimes go from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman because we don't want to be alone. We don't know how to be alone and deal with our issues and our problems ourselves. So now women, now that you know this and you understand this, you can maybe look at your man from a different perspective and stop harassing and bashing him, and because he got issues that he's dealing with. But you don't take the time to find out the issues that he's dealing with, because the first thing you think, who you cheating with? You cheating on me? You sleeping with the next door neighbor because I seen the way you looked at her, all that stuff. Take the time to sit down with your man and ask him, baby, is something that we can work out together? I love you. I'm here for you. Please, let's talk this out. Not begging in the sense of neediness, but pleading in the sense of solidifying a relationship so that it can remain solid, so that it won't be affected by the viruses that are going outside of the relationship. And you know what the virus is. We speak about it every week. That is a serious virus that is killing our relationships. But if we don't talk about the small things in our relationships and the problems that we have, and we can't communicate them little issues right there, then it opens us and expose us to that virus. That's why we need you. Women, I'm telling you, ladies, we need you. We are not too big or too manly to admit that we need a good woman in our side. And if there is a man out there who's afraid to say that, then I'm speaking for the majority of the men who understand what I'm saying. We need you. We can't do this alone. Bear with me, trust me, and know that our relationship is going to be all right. Whatever I've done to you in the past, I'm sorry. But whatever I've done to you in the past, it was not enough to cause you to leave me because you're still here. So while you're still here, please leave the past alone and help me to work on our future right now. That's what we want. But some of us are not man enough or don't know how to say that to you. So today, I'm speaking on behalf of those men. We need you, and I'm with you for a reason. Now, if I continue to do the things that have always affected our relationship and there has been no growth and no changes, then there are other issues and problems that I have in my life, and maybe separating may be better for you and for me because I don't want to hurt you anymore. Okay? Those are the things that we may want to say to you. But we can't say it. So we say it in our actions. And sometimes our actions are abuse, in which I'm sorry for. I'm sorry for the things that we do. But we need you. And if I can't help myself, the best thing I can do is be man enough to say, baby, look, I have a problem, and this problem is going to affect you and our children. So the best thing to do is for me to let you go. We men got so much pride in our hearts that we know we're not right for the woman. We know it, but we still hold on to them. We still lie to them. We still promise them dreams, and they love us so much that they become blinded. We have to stop because we're killing ourselves. Every day we're dying from heart attacks, from whatever illnesses we're dying from. We don't want to leave the negativity that we have projected on our wives and on our children when we're gone. Because they may say, thank God, he's gone. We don't want that. We want a loving family now so that when we do pass on, we know what we did good. And we know we were loving. And we know that there will be good things said about us when we're gone. Other than the negativity that will float around because of what we've done when we were alive in our relationships. The ladies, you have to be very careful who you allow in your immediate personal circle. Who you allow in your comfort zone. Because once they're in your comfort zone, when you're in your comfort zone, you become very, very vulnerable. And when you allow people to come into your comfort zone, they may prey upon your vulnerabilities. And this also will sabotage your emotions. You will not trust a man again. It may cause you to also go from relationship to relationship without the thought of ever settling down anymore because you open up your heart to a man that you didn't know and he hurt you. So you take this out on every man that you deal with. Every man is not the same. Every man don't come into your life with the same intentions. So what you have to do is work on you. Take time. If you had an abusive or bad relationship, I don't suggest you jumping right into another relationship. I don't care what a man say about how good he'll treat you and he's not going to treat you like the other man. No, you need time to take care of you. You need time to repair some of the things in your heart that are still leaking. Issues that you have unconcerned, that you may not have been concerned about, that you may need to take a second look at. We have selfish, insecure, and perverted-minded men who don't care nothing about what you've been through. There are some of us like this. Not to judge them, but you have to be careful. Men, there are good men out there who trust women, who trust that women are not going to hurt them, who trust that women got their best interests in heart when they move in with them, got their best interests in heart when they ask for money to pay bills or whatever they need the money for, and we so willingly give it to them because we trust that this is okay, this right here, this is going to be it right here. Because there are good men out there who are looking for good women. We sometimes don't know how to look and where to look, but we're looking. So we find these women, we open up to them, and there you go. She's a cheating woman. She's lying. She's still in a relationship. She got a husband. You women out there who are married and still pursuing us, you're poison. You're poison to us and you're poison to the society. I don't care if you're separated or not. You need to end that marriage before you go into a relationship with another man. Pulling him in there, thinking that he has something, and you never want to give. I'm not getting divorced. If I get a divorce, then I won't get the money that I'm getting from. You think about that and you don't think about the moral situation. So you women out there who are married, sleeping with men, you're poison. You're poison to society. You're poison to yourself. And you don't even know it. I'm not here judging you. I'm here to tell you that it's a problem that you need to deal with. And at any time, if you see me on the street, you can talk to me about it. I'm not here to judge you. But unfortunately, men cheat when women allow it. When women open up the door to them, and they have vulnerabilities and susceptibilities as well, and we fall victim. We fall victim to your charm, to your flirtation, and then we in there. We lay there with you, we play with you, and then we go on. However, whenever we having problems at home, we got you in our mind, and we say, you know what? I don't got to work on this relationship at home because I got another chick. So that's why we don't take the time or have the concern to work on our relationships, because there's so many women out there who will solicit our attention even when we're married and even when we're in relationships. Those women, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to believe this. Like I said, I'm in the seat, ready to take the heat. I'm going to define it and I'm going to stand behind it. Them women that do that to us are poison. So we men got to be mature enough, respectable enough, honor ourselves enough to stay away from them type of women that poison us and ultimately poison our relationships at home. Nothing justifies cheating. She didn't put a gun to your head and say sleep with her, so don't use that as an excuse to go to mess with her. You know that you have a wife at home, children at home. Do what you got to do in the street, work, whatever you got to do, but leave them women alone and go home. They need you. The same thing with the women. All looking all lovey-dovey, and you don't want your man to touch your hair. Whenever you get your hair done, you don't want your man to touch you, period. You got to stop that. You got to stop that. I don't care if you pay to get your hair done. You beautify yourself for you. I understand that. But you have to beautify yourself for your husband as well. That's a responsibility of you. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Cheatologist. If anybody want to contact the Cheatologist show, the address is on the screen. P.O. Box 23181, Richmond, Virginia 23223. Anybody have questions? Anybody having any meetings or anything that these issues need to be addressed at, you can contact the Cheatologist show. We'll gladly come out and film it. I want to also tell you, you can also go on YouTube and type in the Cheatologist if you missed any shows previous to this. As we're about to go live, YouTube, radio, we're about to really take this on another level. So I want y'all to stay tuned every Friday, 6 o'clock, Comcast 95, Verizon 36. Thank you for tuning in to the Cheatologist.